Hi, friends. I'm not sure if I'm gonna attempt to record this. I'm pretty sure what I know what I'm titling it. It's just a matter of I've been really, really, really tired and doing um for those of you, some of you have been following my journey with my cat passed away, who was my I affectionately called her the cuddle monster. And my other cat is grieving. And this is not really like the topic of this channel in general, but it is going on, and so I'm a little bit demotivated to post right now because I've mentioned that I have been having some brain fog, and I'm still having the brain fog. Also, like, you know, I really appreciated meeting a new person, and they were like, "Oh, you need to, if you can't keep doing this for free, just like it's probably pretty obvious my YouTube is not monetized, and they did just change all the rules so that, like, basically now you cannot really monetize." So but I never was going to monetize it. Collecting has always been my hobby, whether it's rocks than it was tarot, but it was like a lot harder when I was younger to like collect tarot. We didn't have like YouTube walkthroughs. I'm from not even the late 1900s, even though, like, I don't know what age I look, but yeah, I'm from the 1980s, and I was like trying to get into tarot when I was like I benchmark a lot of things in my life to when I was 16, and I'm not really sure if it was definitely when I was 16, but I was around that age that I had this one particular tarot deck that it would be really interesting to see if I could read with it now. It didn't, like, somebody in my family made a disparaging comment about it, and then I was like weirded out because just like his perspective on tarot like freaked me out a little bit, and it was like kind of like it influenced me, and then I started collecting again, like in my 20s, and I must have had like 4 decks. It was nothing big, and I just wanted it for the art, because then I was like, I don't do tarot, like, this is not really my thing, I'm not really good at this, like, that kind of stuff. But I really wanted to. I guess now I'm at about 2.5 years back into the hobby, and it is a hobby for me. It's like difficult for me with like my brain structure to just be like, this is my hobby, and it doesn't have to do with a project, and because my brain will create like psychology projects in the back of my head, and like projects at one point at another like apartment. I had basically a project for every item in my house. I wasn't doing very well with my mental health at that point in my life. It's not like I ever was diagnosed with OCD, but at that point in my life, like, I understood it, and it also made me understand, like, my mom, who is sort of similar, at least. And thankfully, like, now it's not like every object in my house is for a project. I finally got like a little bit less crazed in that way. And I say that with love, because it really was like I wasn't doing well. Like I wasn't doing well when I thought like every object in my house was a project. Really not. One thing I wanted to say, like I've been wanting to figure out like a way to say this. I don't have like regret about about decks that are currently in my collection. I have had a little bit of regret when I'm not even asking for a recommendation and somebody gives me one. And that's one of the reasons like I'm not gonna be showing decks. Like I know the whole point of YouTube is like show stuff, unbox stuff. At this point, like, I'm not monetizing this. Losing my cat has been, like, extremely, like, like, I just want to, like, whether or not it's popular or whatever, it's not my concern. Like, I use this as something of an outlet. And I'm still, like, the amount that one has to be, like, careful what they say in a YouTube video, like I don't really have patience for it, which is another reason that I'm not posting all the time, because in the rest of my online life I'm very outspoken, and I don't consider myself part of TarotTube. I don't have energy to like do tags. It's like, it's just not, like, I don't have energy to do, like, flip-throughs and stuff, but I can say, like, one thing that I definitely wanted to say on this video is, like, I do appreciate, like, silent flip-throughs, because I have had a few times that, like, I have been influenced by tarot tubers, and I don't regret, like, I have, like, it's not in a way where I regret some of the decks that I had, that it was, like, really what happened was I would ask a question about cards, like an actual, like, what does this mean kind of question, or like something, and like someone would be like, oh, I really like this deck. And then like I feel this like pressure that like, so it's like I don't really like unsolicited advice. And I realize even this is unsolicited advice, but like sometimes you're influenced to get a deck because, oh, this person liked it, or when you see their reaction video to a deck, you're like sort of reacting to how they mesh with the deck. And also when you're watching readers, if you watch readers, I've also like gotten decks because I really like how they work on a certain person's channel, and then when I get that deck, I'm like, I will never actually use this. So I do like silent flip throughs now. It's not like totally foolproof. I still get decks where I'm like, I don't really mesh with this because I have my own accessibility requirements that keep this hobby like accessible to me personally. And they're very specific, as everybody has tarot preferences that are usually very specific, and they are accessibility points. And anyway, but I just wanted to like put that out there that sometimes you might want like a silent flip through, especially if you are collecting at the rate I am collecting. I also, like, just at this point in my collecting, like, I've accepted that I'm a collector. I do readings for friends, and I have, like, all types of readings for friends, not just tarot, and I have been compensated. I've been, like, on the outskirts of all this stuff since I was about, as I mentioned, like, about 16. I'm not young. And like almost immediately when I stumbled into like a metaphysical class, like I was like the apprentice to the teacher. Like it wasn't something I was seeking out. I was atheist, okay? But like stuff started happening around me, like poof. And it was like the universe was not going to allow me to ignore what I had going on. Anyway, any other observations at 2.5 years of just active around, I am not like considering myself a tarot tuber. My, what I do in terms of readings is pretty broad, and, tarot is not the most accessible to me, but I am a collector, and I get obsessed with like wanting to have a physical copy of the tarot book and wanting to have a physical copy of the historical deck. And I have a whole shelf in the other, not this room, but in my other room. I have a whole shelf of only historical decks. And I really, like, I'm not even kidding when I tell you that I'm like turning my house into like a tarot library. Like to preserve these historic decks, I understand they're like reprints of historic decks and everything, but I'm so intense about it. And anyway, I think those are mainly my thoughts right now. I decided that I'm like too brain fogged to do like a further deep dive into any other deck right now. I will say that I finally have some decks from Italy. One that I got from a store in California, so like I didn't have to actually buy it from Italy, but it's an Il Manighello deck, and that was a first. I got the Matronua from Valentina De Luca, and that was my first deck from Italy, and I got that for my birthday. And then I stumbled across the Etsy for I guess his name is Giordano Berti. I'm sorry. Like, I know he is so amazing and everything, and it wasn't even intentional. I just, like, stumbled across his Etsy because I really wanted a Sicilian deck. I have a relative I never met who was Sicilian, and, like, if she did any card games or card readings, it would have been with a Sicilian deck. So I have been on the hunt for a Sicilian deck, and then I found one, and I didn't even know it was Giordano Berti's Etsy shop. So it's been like a little bit easier to get those two because I stumbled across them like kind of almost accidentally. So that's where I am in my tarot collecting right now. I really need to like calm down about it and find a few things like better storage. I was gonna try to move. I don't know if you have heard the video where someone attacked my doorbell. Stuff like that happens here. But then a bunch of the people around me were all like moving at the same time, and it was totally chaos. Their lives were chaos, and I was like, you know what? Like, I don't want to go through that. Anyway, and also, like, this is my house where I raised both my cats, and I've been thinking so much about that. You have no idea, like, how much I've been thinking about all that. So anyway, that's where I'm at 2.5 years deep in the tarot community without considering myself to be a tarot tuber. And since I have decided I'm probably not moving, I mean, it really depends, like, what happens over the fall and winter, but, like this, this is 2.5 years deep back into collecting, and I had also given away like a lot of my uh stone collection, my rock collection. I've collected rocks since I was like 3 years old, but I was like, if I'm moving, I'm not moving with all these boxes of rocks. Like, what? So I had given away like a lot of my rocks, but I am back on my rock collecting that I've done my whole life. Nothing like majorly extravagant, but I guess like I'm back to collecting rocks. And it feels good to just be like, I don't know, collecting is the root of like my hobbies. Like, I'm a collector. I'm also a writer, but I'm really burned out on that right now. I mean, this year not only did I lose my cat, but I lost a relative, and it, like, that grieving process was so intense. It really was one of the most intense grieving periods I've ever had. So I really don't have like extra energy for like creative output of writing right now, but so I'm a writer and I'm a collector, but I was kind of like forced by my family into the writing thing, and like it is therapeutic and I use it for for like clearing my own head and stuff. But I have been talking with my guides about it, and they are like, it's okay. Like, you don't have to write anything more if, like, you're uncomfortable. So that's where I'm at with that as well. And now I have to think of a broader subject for what this video is about. And I'm sure nobody will watch to the end, but if you enjoy this content, I post sporadically now. There's no chance of me reaching a wide audience. It's doing a lot of stuff to nerf my channel and stuff. So I'm just doing this as a little bit of an outlet, and if it helps someone, I'm happy about that. I think overall my channel has helped some people, and usually when that point is reached, they reach like a saturation point or something, and that's it, and I don't end up hearing from that person again. But that's, whatever. So now I'm making videos, like, specifically sort of more as an outlet. So you're gonna hear about my cat, because actually, my posts about my cat, like, people noticed them, and hopefully they helped someone. And so yeah, I'm a multifaceted person. I've never been good at like having one niche and doing that over and over. I don't like repeating myself, so I don't have like a little script that makes my videos wonderful. And anyway, so those are my thoughts on collecting in general and on collecting tarot for the past 2.5 years. And I do read for friends, and it is still my hobby. Like, both aspects of it are my hobby. And yeah. So I hope this helps, and even if the person it helps is me, that's valid as well. So I will get this posted soon. I have to figure out what I'm calling it. And yeah. Have a wonderful week.